that. Hey everybody, Adrian here, just to introduce you to this episode. So we're doing and continuing. Hey everybody, Adrian here. Welcome back to Nerd at Heart. We're going to be doing Movies at Heart, our section where we just talk about movies, usually winding up talking about the MCU and some sort of Disney project. But today we have a special guest. We are talking to Trevor Young. He's our guest this week, and so today we're going to get his input on some Marvel series, some news that came out of Brazil, as well as a couple other items. And enjoy the show, guys. We had a great time making it.
So for those of you just joining us, we're going to talk about some Marvel movie news. I'm your host, Patrick. This is my co-host,
Adrian.
And today we have a good friend of mine, a brother from another mother, Trevor Young. He's a big MCU guy. He knows it like the back of his hand. And so, we're just going to dive right into that. Is that all right with you, Trevor?
Absolutely.
All right. So the first thing I want to bring up to you is you watched Agatha all along, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you enjoyed it very much so, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It was a little
slow. It was pretty good. I'd say it's
I had to think about that one. Yeah.
I think it's one of Marvel's better series that they've.
Okay, well, you would be in agreement with the rest of the world. The ratings are extremely high for it. Marvel was honestly surprised because the ratings started looking like Star Wars: The Acolyte, but they finished really strong.
It was
really good.
They really piggybacked off of one episode, is what I think happened. That episode. I Hold Death's Hand or something like that. It was the one they released before they ended with the two episodes.
The fortune teller.
Yeah, the fortune teller one. That one just absolutely, I think, blew the series up.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good episode.
It is.
I mean, it's well crafted from moment one to the end. It's interesting. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys do this, but if a series gets a little long and, a little boring, sometimes I go skip. It's like, don't need to hear this. Skip. Just do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I have done that a couple of times with Agatha. It's like, I've got a life, guys. You got to get moving. So
I don't need all the exposition.
Yeah, I don't need this again. I don't need it. I don't even need it now. So. And like, I don't need to hear the song again. I've heard it, every episode just about. But the thing is I didn't do that once in that episode. If anything, I went back to rehear something, because that was the episode that Aubrey Plaza got introduced as Death. And you get the first shot of her.
We're going to put spoilers,
That Aubrey Plaza got introduced as Death. And you get the first shot of her.
We're going to put spoilers,
I figured it's all over the news. Everybody's like, what are we going to do with Death? But it was the first shot you get of her as Death. And you're like, it's in the dark. I'm trying to see it. And oh man, but she was really good in that show. Honestly, I think probably one of the best parts, from episode to episode, let's say.
I mean, she wasn't in like half the episodes though.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
So what I wanted to tell you is they are potentially seeking to do a season 2 of Agatha All Along.
No, I don't know how you could do that.
The way it ended, which I'm not going to spoil, I
feel like it needs to be the adventures of.
Yeah, I think the thing is that there's a little bit of a hole you have to dig out of. in order for there to be another Agatha all along.
Yeah.
Season 2.
So the way that they've already kind of shopped around the idea is, and I'm going to use again spoilers, but the way they've shot the idea around is that Wiccan is going to be the main character, and Agatha will be advising him, as a ghost. Again, spoilers.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So it'll almost be like an Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ghost Qui-Gon adventure type thing.
Well,
just to give some
I think you could have gone with the Luke Obi-Wan scenario. That would have worked too.
The thing is, like, it's kind of going off the comics of how Agatha was the first time the Witch's Road actually was introduced in the comics. Again, I don't read the comics. I learned this from YouTube videos. Was that Agatha was a ghost guiding Wanda along the Witch's Road. So they're kind of taking that concept, going with Wiccan, and going to go find, spoilers, Tommy. So I feel like it shouldn't be Agatha all along, because I don't see how the Agatha could be behind anything all along, but it should be like the adventures of Wiccan and Agatha. Or
I mean, and they could rebrand it. That could like be the pseudo season 2 or the continuation. But what do you think of the idea of continuing with the characters, like that vein?
And it needs to be continued with the amount of cliffhangers they give.
Okay. Okay. So
like,
you'd be open to it.
Yeah. Like what's when are we going to see Death again? I want to see Death. What?
Yeah.
Death's going to be searching for Tommy and Billy. You know that. Yeah. What's Agatha capable of in her ghost form? And then is Tommy going to have powers?
Yeah.
Is he going to be like the comics and going to be fast? Or is he going to just be normal until something happens? Or is Tommy, is the body that Billy put Tommy in, is that going to be a mutant?
That's fair. I'm not going to lie to you there. But you would be very open to seeing a second season of Agatha all along.
A continuation. Yeah.
A continuation. Okay. And then, now the next bit of news I wanted to share with you is that, while at D23 Brazil, Kevin Feige stated that the Blade movie starring Mahershala Ali is still going forward. It's still happening, even though they moved it from its November spot of next year. We don't know where it is. It's been delayed now indefinitely. I believe they replaced it with Predator 2 or Predator: The Badlands.
Yeah, I think that's what they did.
Yeah. So that's going to be coming to theaters because Prey did so good, but that's for another video. We're here to focus on the MCU. So what do you think about how it keeps getting delayed? Do you think Feige is, true to his word on this? Are they really going to come out with the Blade movie starring Mahershala?
Anything that Feige takes his time to say is going to be happening.
Okay.
I mean, that's my guess, but especially when it's been in development hell for so long.
That's my point with it as well. It's just been too long in the process. They've lost a lot of writers on it. They can't.
He's pissed.
Yeah, I mean, he's mad. He's upset. I mean, he's put his career on hold for this movie, and they haven't even started filming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they haven't even been able to find a writer, and
they don't even have a story. Yeah.
I mean, from what we've been hearing in the rumor mill, the story's gone from modern day to the Victorian era, back to modern day. Somewhere in the middle. It's like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, but what do you think, Trevor? What do you think?
I mean, I think it should be a good movie, and if it's not a good script, if it's not got good writers, if it's not going to be something good, they shouldn't go forward with it, which is why it's in development hell. And it's a good decision that they're making based on how much let's be frank, crap they've put out in the
Yeah.
past couple of years.
No, yeah. I definitely feel where
Yeah.
you're coming from on that.
I think that was one of the other things is that I theorize that one of the problems they've also had is the fact that Deadpool brought out Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Yes.
And that really created a fervor around Wesley Snipes being Blade.
Yeah.
Not that they're not planning to let Mahershala Ali do that, but it's almost like, to immediately have to compete with this image that's been brought back from the recesses of your early days.
Yeah, the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, what is
movies were going
gray
to see
flavor
Spider-Man
saver?
was. Yeah.
Walking around with his gray flavor saver, just absolutely being the boss as Blade.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey guys, I'm gonna be Blade too. And that's kind of hard to follow.
It is.
It is.
Especially with, like you said, Wesley Snipes doing such a good job in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I mean, we also can't forget though. Yeah. That was not the first appearance of Blade in the MCU.
Well, they had the Spider-Man in the cartoons as well.
Uh-huh. But like the first appearance of Blade is his voice at the end of Eternals, the post-credit scene.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was the other thing is because I think there was some rumor because that was we get Kit Harington getting the Excalibur kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was this thing about how Blade could wind up being a mentor to the Black Knight.
That was the next thing I was going for. Is that was definitely hinted at D23 Brazil? Is that they're going to come out with Kit Harington as the Black Knight holding the Excalibur sword, and Blade is going to be his teacher, mentor, and wielding it and truly becoming the Black Knight. What do you think of that storyline?
Well, I think that's going to be an interesting storyline. Also, the Blade is not Excalibur. It's something else. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I know it's not Excalibur.
Okay. I can't.
I feel like it's called the Dark Sword or something. I'm not
okay.
Sure.
But what do you think of the storyline of Blade?
Storyline, I think that's good. It could work. It could work.
Okay. Now, I know, like you said, Marvel's been really distancing themselves from a lot of the crap they've been putting out. Do you think that this storyline is viable with how much negative attention Eternals as a movie got?
Yeah, because I mean, if you take a look at it, it's a side character. They have a lot of luck with side characters moving into something else. Okay. So taking a side character, putting in with a Blade, if Blade's already have. Did you say this was our going to be the premise of the Blade movie, or
this is potentially they were doing feelers at D23.
Well, I feel like it could make. I think Blade needs his own project first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then go into this.
Okay.
I think Eternals has been kind of out long enough that people have kind of forgotten about it. It really has been kind of shoved under the rug a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms, there's not a lot of
years ago.
Yeah, it's been a few years ago. Actually, speaking of shoved under the rug, there was this whole thing about how Disney is trying to scrub most of its She-Hulk merchandising and things like that because they've recasted the actress to play She-Hulk. Yeah, for future projects. I just recently read about that. So I don't know who the new actress is. I forget that, but I know Tatiana Maslany, of course, was the last one. So I don't know. I mean, I find that quite interesting that they're even going back because, I mean, you still can watch The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. And before Mark Ruffalo, and even shockingly enough, the Ang Lee one with Eric Bana.
Yeah,
so which is a thing. So I don't know. I mean, I thought that was just kind of an interesting detail. Speaking of forgetting things, it's I don't know, just because they're trying to, I don't know, push past unfortunately, the kind of failure that She-Hulk was.
I mean, could they be recasting She-Hulk not necessarily getting rid of this actress, but recasting her for a different timeline or something like that.
I mean, it's possible. That's the thing. It's all that could be just conjecture. It's just that they definitely want to do something with the She-Hulk character, but Tatiana Maslany is not tied to it anymore.
Right.
So they need
Because
somebody new.
I could see She-Hulk appearing in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, of course.
Potentially.
And that's an alternate Earth.
Well, I mean, what was supposed to happen is She-Hulk was supposed to appear in Deadpool and Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds completely nixed that. He cut out all the scenes with it. He was like, no. I mean, Tatiana, has come on record saying, yeah, I was supposed to be in there. And Ryan Reynolds, at the end of the day, said it's not happening. She's not being in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the thing is that ultimately, because Deadpool and Wolverine was more about a love letter to Fox.
Yeah.
In the end, and bringing in a direct tie. I mean, the TVA was already a direct tie, but it wasn't it could be
more of a generic tie.
I'd agree. It was more of a setting, overarching.
Yeah.
But
the thing is in the end, if you brought in She-Hulk, then you directly tied to Disney, to Disney Plus and all of this. And the MCU, and they haven't gotten there yet, and they didn't want to. I guess it would just be more shaky to have done that without real planning it out. I mean, because we are and you already got to see you got Happy Hogan, you got to see Thor in the view scanners and stuff like that, but that was about all they really did,
to tie it to the MCU overall. So, going from that, what do you think of that? Feige has stated that mutants are going to be the main thing after Secret Wars, which means we have to get to Secret Wars to really start seeing mutants. Now, he did say that they're going to pepper a little in each movie, but after Secret Wars, they're going to be the main focus.
I think. So I think it might be a little bit of a mistake, right?
Okay.
I think mutant movies are going to be good. Okay. At least the first few. It might get old by a point if you're focusing solely on a bunch of different mutants.
Yeah.
I would assume that they're rushing projects to get there, because they haven't had success, and with the scandal from
Jonathan Majors,
they just want to move past the multiversal saga into a mutant saga.
Yeah, because that actually brings me into the next thing. Is they said Kang the Conqueror is not going to be brought up or really mentioned at all going forward. Apparently, he gets a name drop in Secret Wars. Other than that, the character's done. The character's really done. He's out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right move to just be done with Kang when you set him up to be a big villain of this. I think recasting would work.
Yeah. And I feel like that would have been the answer, but they've already chosen the new big bad, being Doctor Doom, being played by at least a variant, being played by Robert Downey Jr.
I think Disney they learned their lesson from Johnny Depp and didn't react so quickly with Jonathan Majors, but I still think they reacted too quickly.
Yeah.
They should, I don't know. I know he was found guilty, but also people make mistakes. I mean, for goodness sake, Robert Downey Jr. was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of cocaine. Yeah. I mean, so you're not wrong. So, with that, how do you feel about, like you said, the mutants going forward? How do you feel? They're also planning on returning Wanda. They're working on that right now.
I mean,
the return of Wanda Maximoff.
That'll probably go into the mutant saga too.
Okay.
If they return her, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just thinking. I mean, because she directly ties into mutants, and that's the thing. Her and Quicksilver. I mean, because after all, in the comics and in the animated series, she is the daughter of Magneto.
Mhm.
So, and that's an easy back end because we're already talking about how mutants are going to be kind of an alt universe, something, kind of, I guess, maybe intruding into our world, or
Well, then
the timeline.
that brings up, another thing Feige said is that going forward, Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be very important. Very important in introducing the mutants.
Yeah.
Very important in introducing the new saga.
Yeah, you don't make a roast out of the goose that lays the golden egg,
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
I also got to thinking of mutants. Just in the upcoming Captain America movie, they're announcing adamantiums. They're from the corpse of the Celestial from Eternals.
Yeah.
But does that mean that Wolverine doesn't have his adamantium skeleton yet?
Yeah, I mean that's
Is this going to be a younger Wolverine? Is Wolverine even around yet?
I mean you make a lot of good things and going forward. I know that have you had a chance to see Venom: The Last Dance yet?
No.
Okay, I don't want to spoil anything. Then
you can spoil it. I don't know if I'm going to see it.
Well, they say that Null, the god of the symbiotes, is going to be in it, but who is played by Andy Serkis. We've talked about that in past videos. And we were right. We were right about that rumor. I still will sit here and say we were right.
Andy. The Andy.
But apparently Null is going to make more because they did not perish in Venom: The Last Dance, which is again what the spoiler is. Yeah. But they're going to make stuff in the MCU with Null. Null is going to feature heavily in Secret Wars.
I mean, I did get into comics in 2020.
Yeah.
So my first comic storyline I got into was Donny Cates' Venom storyline, which introduces Null's first appearance.
Okay.
So I got all of the comics right over there, and I got the King in Black series. So I would be very interested in seeing the King in Black event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I think that's the plan. It's because and Andy Serkis. Sorry. That's going to be really cool. I really like how finally we're going to get the symbiotes over into the MCU.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what was the series called? The Age of the Symbiotes or something like that.
Yeah.
If that series, now that was from the animated, I think that was from the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Animated series. They had the Age of the Symbiotes, for a bit.
So go ahead, Trevor.
I think seeing Venomized superheroes that we know on screen for the first time is going to be pretty cool. And
it'd be,
I'll look forward to.
It'd be like zombies, but they won't suck.
Right.
So overall, and that's they're bringing in Null, they're bringing in other stuff because apparently, the new film Nova is going to be a key project to kick off the next MCU saga, which is going to focus more on the cosmic side of things.
And that's what I could see a tie-in there from Nova to Null.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Nova's going to really focus on that. It's going to kick off the cosmic stuff, which is then going to pepper in the mutants, which is going to lead Null into Secret Wars, and then the mutants are going to become the main focus after Secret Wars. So apparently we're really finishing up the magic side of things, what with Wanda, Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and the multiverse side of things. We're really they're going to close the door on that soon. They're going to switch gears into the cosmic. We're really going to go into space. They're saying the Guardians of the Galaxy might make more appearances because, again, space, cosmic side. And then that's really going to introduce the symbiotes, Null, like I said, leading up to Secret Wars. Doom's really going to become like a big bad. And and thus leading into the mutant saga leading to Doomsday.
I just had a thought. As you were talking about it, it's like I'm kind of curious in what capacity the Guardians of the Galaxies would actually play into this, because you just realized that Drax isn't there anymore.
Yeah, Dave Bautista has moved on.
Yeah, not only that, lost a lot of weight. He's decided that he did not want to be the muscle-bound guy anymore. He wanted to be, he wanted to focus more on the acting side.
Mm-hmm.
So he has slimmed down significantly. So
yes.
To the point that people thought, "Oh my gosh, he's dying."
Yeah, they
he's
thought
like, "I'm not dying.
they thought it was Chadwick Boseman all over again."
Yeah,
like, oh my God, is Dave okay?
Yeah, he's like, "Guys, I'm not dying. I just decided that I need to watch my take care of my health better. And I'm almost 60. I need to stop being the muscle guy."
Yeah.
So you won't have Drax. Not like if they decide to redo it, it won't be the same.
I mean, I don't think the Guardians at the end of the third one, I don't think he was still on the Guardians.
No, they all kind of went their own way.
Yeah, but I mean, he was still teamed up with people, and
Drax,
I think the big thing is they wanted to go deal with Quill and all what his story is and what's going on with him a little bit.
Because Star-Lord will return is what it said. It didn't say anything about any of the Guardians. Now, Rocket Raccoon's not hard. He's CGI, and you just need Bradley Cooper to come do the voice.
And weirdly enough, Vin Diesel for Groot.
Yeah, I mean, which again, not hard. Just come do the voice. We'll pay you another $1 million to yell "I am Groot" every now and then. And I mean, so that's two. You could get Chris Pratt has signed on for other films. I'm not sure about Zoe Saldana.
Why not? I mean, look, if we've learned anything from Deadpool Wolverine, is if you slap somebody with a big enough wad of cash, they'll come back.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that.
You're not wrong.
I'm not saying anything about his decision making. In fact, if anything, I applaud it.
Yeah,
I mean, even in this economy, Hugh Jackman needs a little extra cash.
Money. He needs some money, man. So other than that, I mean, that's really all we've got on the MCU. What do you think about everything we've said, Trevor? How do you feel about it as an MCU fan?
As an MCU fan, I want to say the MCU should stop doing what it's doing.
That Feige said they're changing gears, they're switching gears. You're going to get 2 movies and 3 series going forward. Mm-hmm. A year, that's it. So what do you think about that? You're not going to get 3 movies anymore. You're not going to be inundated with series, because I think next year you're getting like 7 shows. It's like 7 or 8 shows.
There's a lot. It's because it's already been made. They need to get it out.
Yeah. See, one of the problems I have with this we talked about it because now look at what's happened to Star Wars. Star Wars is now in some sort of they're in detention.
Yeah.
Because they're basically being told stop it. And then now Marvel has decided, well, there's a lot of dead air, so let's fill it up with our noise. But the problem is that if they're pumping out this stuff this quickly and in this consistently, you might have some good stuff, but the thing is, it's a law of averages, means there's going to be a big stinker that rolls through it every now and then.
Every now and again.
But the problem is people remember the stinkers sometimes more than they remember the roses.
Yeah, because I mean, going forward, it's like we said, just next year alone, there's like 7 or 8 TV shows. There's now 2 movies because they moved Blade.
3 movies.
Oh, I thought because they moved Blade, there's still 3 movies?
Yeah, there's Captain America, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Oh, he's right. Yeah, because Fantastic Four just finished filming too. So there were going to be 4 movies and like 8 TV shows, and I'm just like,
well, I'm
going to admit to you, Trevor, I'm salty. I'm upset.
I know
I'm very upset because I'm hearing like 4 movies 8 TV shows. God, I wonder what that's like. Because just recently, and this is a little, small tangent, but they're we're only getting the Mandalorian and Grogu in 26.
Yep.
And the only thing we're getting next year for certain is Andor season 2 and Star Wars Visions Volume 3.
Now wait,
think how
you're
bad,
going to get the second half of Skeleton Crew.
Oh
think
yeah.
how bad Adrian has it as a Star Trek fan, though.
What's that? I do.
As a Star Trek fan,
I might actually start getting news to talk about. So I'm trying to think, because right now I'm still catching up on things that are happening now.
Yeah.
So sadly enough, we're losing Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Which stinks to high heaven. That's probably one of the best Trek
5
shows
seasons,
out
though.
there on TV right now.
Yeah.
But they've actually talked about that they're going to be continuing or doing another series, and it's going to be involving at least the lead actress or from Lower Decks.
Yeah.
So there's a new series coming with her, and I think Boimler. So Mariner and Boimler look like they still might have a show coming, and it's going to be live action.
Yeah, I mean, but again,
I don't know if that's what you're alluding to, but I read that news.
Yeah, but this is what really sticks in my craw. Is
new world.
Even going forward, the MCU's getting 2 movies and 3 TV shows a year, more than likely maintaining the 8-episode balance, that they've been known for. And I mean, we're getting Andor and
Well, look at it this way. At least there's none of your Star Trek boys are going to Star Wars boys are going to jump ship and play a Star Trek character. Oh wait, Sam Witwer.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. I just met him in August too.
Yeah. Just came out with that unification. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I mean, you didn't get to see his face.
Well, no, they CGI'd it and whatnot, but he did the voice and he did it perfectly. I'll say that much for William Shatner.
It's very good, and maybe talk about it a little later. But I'm really looking for Star Trek to start making its own renaissance because because it had its golden days. I mean, let's grade it. TOS in the late 60s, fine. The animated series after that. Then you get all the way up to the late 80s, all the way through most of the 90s, if not into the into the 2000s, when what I would call their golden age ended. And then now, but then we got Discovery, and then that moved on to Strange New Worlds, which is fantastic. Well, and Lower Decks. Lower Decks Lower Decks is awesome. I could watch Lower Decks over and over again with all the references from the 90s.
It's a good show.
And 80s. Oh my gosh. And I really would love to see those characters continue on in another capacity. But I don't know if it would translate to live action as well.
But what was
what are you saying about?
That's really.
I'm sorry, Adrian. What you're saying about Star Trek about having a renaissance, I know the MCU is young, but I'm kind of thinking they need a renaissance back to the phases 1 and 2, the multiverse saga, where they don't announce their sagas, that they just plan out the movies and maybe retcon them together.
Oh,
well, I think very early on that's definitely what they did. I think when you did the first Iron Man movie, and you get that little tag with Samuel Jackson at the end, I bet you that was just like a lark. They're like, this is oh wait, this movie's popular. Maybe we got something here.
Yeah.
Right. And then they said, oh well, we finished doing this Incredible Hulk film. Why don't we get Tony Stark just appear, show up for 1 minute and talk about it, tease the Hulk, and then, and then eventually it was like, maybe we need to start putting this together.
Yeah. And then once they got the Disney money,
get pictures.
Yeah, the
that?
Disney money is what really made the MCU come to fruition. Because
Remember when Disney made good decisions?
Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah, it was fun.
but anyways, you know, I mean, that's really all we had for today. You know, and Trevor, thank you for coming on. You know, coming on the show, man. You know, we really appreciate your insights and your opinions. You know, but yeah, I think we've kept you long enough, and you know, I think we got stuff we all got to do today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh yeah, we appreciate it.
All right, buddy. It was nice meeting you, Trevor, and I look forward to getting to talk to you. Maybe we can get you back on sometime soon.
That'd be great.
We definitely watch out, Mike. I think we definitely wanted to talk about. We wanted to do Lorcana and some of your other hobbies, but we do a collectible section every now and then. I think that's what we need to do. We need to get you back on here for that.
Thank you for joining us, Trevor, and again, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
All right, love you guys. You have a good one. Bye.
Bye bye.